All right, Shalom, Shalom. Sahara 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, so today's topic that we're going to dive into is dealing with this newly discovered dinosaur, plural, not just one. They only talking about one in this video I'm about to show you. But they found thousands. They said opened up a whole new realm. They said Jurassic World, basically, over there in Africa. All right. So they said scientists discover new dinosaur in Saharan desert. All right, and here's the image of the Saharan desert, and they were around Niger where they found this dinosaur skeletons. All right, and they said this dinosaur that they found is was approximately 40 feet long. All right, and that would be about the size of a school bus or a giraffe, you know, a shipping container or a tall telephone pole. That's how big this dinosaur was. All right. So we're gonna get into it, and I titled this one "Jurassic World Found." Just meaning it's called the Age of Discovery. I spelled it wrong. Damn, typo. Excuse me for the typo. Uh, but it's just the Age of Discovery. All right, and that's scriptural. Matter of fact, what is that? Let me get this real quick. This is Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. See, age of discovery basically represents the time of the end. All right, going into the kingdom. Many shall run to and fro, all right, all around the world, traveling, which really started with the ships, and knowledge shall be increased, man. All right, so people travel around the world with jets now, and information travels around the world, and the internet, et cetera, et cetera. All right, and the more humans come in contact with each other, different cultures, the quicker information gets passed around, and knowledge increases. All right, so advanced technology is helping with their discoveries. So they went out into the vast desert of where is it at again? The Sahara. All right, they went into the vast desert of the Sahara, and they found these bones. All right, so I'm gonna play this video clip, and let's dive into a few scriptures dealing with this topic. All right, and this is fair use, I'm sure, because it's the news. Hopefully, um, from ABC. I'm gonna play this clip.
And hours after we arrived, we found that what you're looking at is the crest on the top of the skull of this Spinosaur. And we knew we had a Spinosaur. We didn't know if we'd find a lot more of it, but we did.
Wow.
And yeah, it was immediately apparent to us this was a new species because the crest is like nothing we've seen before on any predatory dinosaur.
So tell us more about this Spinosaur. I got to know, what exactly do we know right now?
Yeah, it's become through Jurassic Park, it's become the celebrated dinosaur because we don't have any in North America. But in other parts around the old Mediterranean Ocean, which we used to call a Tethys Ocean, these dinosaurs stalked, and now we're finding in the rivers inland stalked fish, and we were.
Notice he said around the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean, man. I might study that with my children today, dealing with the Mediterranean. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you because they said this was found around the Mediterranean, and then the inland rivers. This thing would be waiting on the shores. You pulling up with a boat, and you see this huge thing on the shores, like on the movie. Direct the last, I think it was the last one. Yeah, that, but they had a little more huge. Um, but yeah, this thing would reach into the water and grab giant fish. All right, but the Mediterranean is spoken about in the scriptures. Let's go to let's go to let's see. We'll go to maybe Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 104 and 24. All right, let's go to Psalms 104 and 24. All right, and this is talking about Yahweh's creations. Check this out. All right, Psalms 104 and 24. Oh, Yahweh, how manifold are thy works, man. All right, let's get manifold. Manifold meaning diverse or complex, right? How manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. So everything that exists has a purpose. We call it the cycle of life. All right, spiritual and physical. So how manifold are thy works, man? He made the tiny uh what do they call that? Microscopic world all the way to the great world, which is abundant with mountains and sky and space, people, you know, all the way down to the quantum realm and even the spirit world. How manifold are thy works, man? So is the great and wide sea. All right, and that great and wide sea that he's talking about there, I'm gonna show you if I can get it. I'll just go back to this picture. How about that? The great and wide sea is talking about the Mediterranean. All right, the Mediterranean, great and wide sea. Where is it at? Okay, so the great and wide sea spoken of in Psalms 104 is talking about the Mediterranean. All right, let's see if I can go to it. Okay, so now uh, there you go. Number one at the top, the Mediterranean Sea. All right. It says the Mediterranean Sea, sometimes a large river. All right. A large body of water. But the main one that is notice this guy said they found those dinosaurs, newly found dinosaurs around the Mediterranean Sea. All right. Of course, you have the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, the Sea of Galilee, which is not a sea at all. It's like a little lake. That the proof of that you can look up the scripture with Peter when he jumped into the Sea of Galilee. And it's just a little lake. All right. Mighty River Nile, that's a river. So what it's talking about the Mediterranean Sea, man. Let's go back. It says, how manifold, okay, Psalms 104 and 25. So is this great and wide sea. All right, the basic Mediterranean Sea, where are things creeping innumerable. All right, all the water on the earth has things creeping innumerable, small creatures and big creatures. It says both small and great beasts. See that? So small fish to giant beasts, man, all the way up to whales and other stuff that they finding now. Still could be out there, which we know Leviathan's out there, probably plural instead of just singular, but great beasts all in the waters, right? That wide sea that hasn't been fully explored yet. A small percentage has been explored. All right, so and there goes the ships. See the ships in the Mediterranean Sea, and there is that Leviathan, whom thou made to play therein. All right, so Leviathan plays in the water. The Lord got him occupied. It says, these wait all upon thee. All right, so the ships and Leviathan is waiting on the Lord, meaning everything gets fed from the Most High. These all wait upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season. Mm, 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 mm. All right. So it's the Most High that's feeding those animals, and Leviathan is still around, um, or the Lord could be creating it new. Who knows? But whatever it is huge. It's, Leviathan. All right. So we're in that time of what? Damn, I thought y'all was on scripture. My bad. Here you go. We're in that time of the age of discovery. Spelled it wrong right there, but yeah. All right. So let's go back to this video. Let's get into this.
Able to ferret out some of the great fish catching abilities of this ocean. These dinosaurs stalked, but in other parts around the old Mediterranean Ocean, which we used to call a Tethys Ocean, these dinosaurs stalked, and now we're finding in the rivers inland stalked fish, and we were able to ferret out some of the great fish catching abilities of this animal by looking at its jaws. And it was we call it a hell heron, because I think it was wading into the waters, scaring any kind of competitors away, and very much a display-oriented animal, but capable of just snatching a lot of large fish out of the riverways and the coastal region. And it's like nothing we've ever seen before. It's the size of T-Rex. It's 40 feet long.
Wow, it's huge. Now, this Spinosaur, it differs from some of the other ones you actually studied. So what sets this one apart?
And Leviathan is huger than T-Rex and all of that together.
Yeah, I'll just say, this is what they share. They share this kind of tooth that is straight, curved, no serrations. Looks very different than a T-Rex tooth. The original clues to this site I dug out of the library, a French monograph. Its teeth interlock, the lower ones coming outside the upper ones to snare a slippery fish. If you ever try to catch a fish with your hands, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is a fishing adaptation only this dinosaur, Spinosaurus, has. But this is what defines the species, the very low snout, and then this incredible crest that extends into the air with a covering. And I'm going to give you just a shot of the covering that we've reconstructed for it. That's the crest right there.
Wow.
It would have a covering like a live animal in keratin that would extend it a little bit further. It's about 2 feet overall. And so that gives us a couple of clues about this dinosaur, one of which is that it's a land animal. It's inhabiting the margins of oceans, the margins of riverways. It is not a diving marine Loch Ness monster, as some have proposed. This is sort of the coup de grace for that idea.
Right. So now I'm gonna get a scripture real quick. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Um, Esau always try to defer, like, yeah, Loch Ness monster. Woo, woo, woo. But listen, Wisdom of Solomon 11:17. For thy almighty hand, right? Because the Most High is the creator, and he's still creating, that made the world of matter without form. So the Lord created the world that we call matter, this physical realm. All right. He can make anything, man. He wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions, right? Because the Lord could send into an area thousands of bears, have them attack a bunch of people, or he could send in thousands of lions, as he's done before, or a few lions and have them slaughter a whole city, or unknown wild beasts. Damn, that's what you get at the Loch Ness monster, or what they call Bigfoot, et cetera, right? Things that's out there that we don't know about. Put it like that. Um, or unknown wild beasts, full of rage. Damn, like a tiger. Newly created, newly found, or newly created. Especially with all this radiation out here. But who knows what's happening down there in the ocean? Something could be newly created. Just don't know, man. All right. But with Leviathan's out there, newly created, breathing out either fiery vapor, like Leviathan, like Godzilla, or filthy scents of scattering smoke, or shooting horrible sparks out of their eyes, like Leviathan. All right. So the Lord can create, I believe, has created this, and the scriptures called Leviathan in Job 41. All right. And you also have animals that can do that, shoot out fire. They have a chemical that mixes up in their head, or in their tail. I think this one called the bombardier beetle is known for its. Let's go to it. The Damn, where's that? Okay, here you go. The bombardier beetle is renowned for its unique explosive defense mechanism, which involves spraying a boiling, noxious, and corrosive chemical spray. See, scattered. It says what? Filthy scents of scattered smoke. Chemicals spray at predators. This chemical weapon is produced by an internal high temperature reaction, often described as a fire or acid cannon. You think the Lord can't create a dinosaur that could do that? All right. So this John shoots at 100 degrees Celsius. All right. It produces heat from that blast, 100-degree Celsius. Right. So animals can do that. The Lord can create animals that can do that. So it's definitely possible. So like in my phone messing up. Here we go. All right. So let's go back to where I was at. So it says, matter of fact, look at that. Sheesh. Get this for the backdrop. One moment. I'm just looking for something. That's a good one. Let's move this one here. I don't want to watch no movies. Let me just look at that. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah, dang, I can't find out with the fire coming out of my mouth. There we go. All right. Cause I found a damn 1980s version of Godzilla. God damn. All right. Anyway. All right. So now let's keep going. Because you got the old Japanese version. All right. So let's read the scripture. It says, let's read the scripture while we look at this old ass picture. Um, it says, breathing out fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparks out of its eyes, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, I mean, it's going to scare the hell out of the whole country. They'll run. Everybody will run, just like they run from the missiles, right, into the ground and hide. Um, but also the terrible sight would utterly destroy them. Just seeing it, people would have heart attacks, pass out, and die from fear. So that's the level of magnitude these missiles are going to be on. So the Lord chose missiles instead of just damn monsters showing up. Woo-hoo. Right? It says, yea, and without these might they have fallen down with one blast. See, the Lord don't need any of that, really. He can just blow on the earth like a hurricane and clean the damn earth off, blowing us around like leaves. We have a joke in this camp, like humble joke. You know, what the Lord got mad, and and you just see a hand grabbing the earth, and he like, fuck it. He's like, whoa, what? He just throw that joint like a baseball. I'm starting over. He's like, whoa, what? Um, it says, but thou hast ordained all things in measure and number and weight. All right. So the Lord got everything measured out in time. He doesn't move or disturb those times until the said measure be fulfilled. All right. With war, that's what he got set up. Even with Leviathan popping up, it's going to happen at the precise time. Just to say, the Lord saying, hey, told you I could do it if I want. I could have did this. For thou canst show thy great strength at all times. I just said that. For thou canst show thy great strength at all times when thou wilt. So he can have Godzilla or Leviathan pop up today. He can change his mind. Just you know, well, he won't change his mind. As far as the prophecies, he set everything in order. But the Lord can bring some scary shit. He's the king of terrors. All right, so he can show his strength any moment. He can deliver us yesterday if he wanted to. Right now, as I'm speaking, he could deliver us. But he got everything set up in measure. For thou canst show thy great strength at all times when thou wilt. And who may withstand the power of thine hand? The Lord can have Leviathan pop up tomorrow, and the militaries around the world not going to be able to do anything about it. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. There's a point I want y'all to hear at the end.
This animal I wouldn't want to be anywhere near if I was near the shore or on land. It could probably grab anything. It had unbelievable hands with claws.
Right now, you might pull up to an area in a boat, and you'll see gorillas. You'll see tribes, dangerous tribes that still um, haven't been encountered yet. You'll see giant ass gators and alligators and hippos. But we ain't seen no damn dinosaur.
But it was primarily adapted in a way we've never seen for eating fish. And they were big fish. We're actually going to name a 12-foot superfish that we found not far from the dinosaur.
See, they found this dinosaur, and they found a 12-foot fish. All right.
I mean, just to see the teeth as big as your palm is just
Oh, yeah.
startling to imagine
Yeah,
how
this is
big
small.
this dinosaur, yeah, how big this dinosaur really was. Now, do you think you'll find more dinosaurs in more remote regions, or do you think this is a one-off find?
No, so
Yeah, there we go. See, do you think they'll find more dinosaurs in that region? All right. He look like somebody, man. Is it Carlton? Lorenz Tate. That's what he like, dude from Lorenz Tate. Anyway, let's move on. So he said some more. They found more dinosaurs. Check it out.
for your listeners, I mean, first of all, we're in the age of discovery. We're naming more dinosaurs now than we've ever named before. So your kids and their kids, they're going to be in the heyday of dinosaur research. But not only heyday of
Listen.
dinosaurs now that we've ever named listeners. I mean, first of all, we're in the age of discovery. And their kids, they're going to be in the heyday of, for your listeners. I mean, first of all, we're in the age of discovery. We're naming more dinosaurs now than we've ever named before.
We're in the age of discovery. All right. Knowledge being increased.
So your kids and their kids, they're going to be in the heyday of dinosaur research. But
Right. Our kids will be playing with dinosaurs out this joint. All right. So
not only can I tell you we're going to find more, we are going to name a lot more from that site. There are digging raptors you've never seen. There are crocodiles and all sorts of creatures that we have already found in the 50 tons we took from Africa on that legendary.
see that they found a whole lot more. So that means there's a whole lot more out there. All right.
Expedition. So there's a lot more coming. In fact, it really is a lost world we're going to describe.
There you go. Lost World, not Jurassic World. I shouldn't have called it that. But the Lost World. Look at that. Lost World is I think that was wasn't that Jurassic Park? Damn, that was Jurassic Park. Right? Yeah, Lost World. See, they know. All right. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Wow. Wow, man. So, all right, so the Lord said He gonna do that, man. He gonna let's get that real quick. Get that real fast. And veer off. This is Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." All right. So we're in that time. What they call the age of discovery is basically when knowledge is being increased and also the end. All right. It says here, verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. See that the Lord gonna intervene, He gonna make these things happen. Even so, the times of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works. When He created the earth, the heavens and the earth, man, vast mountains and the oceans where He gave to the giant beasts of the sea that we can't even imagine. It's a whole world down there. In contrast to that, you have a whole world on the surface, vast mountain ranges, plains, valleys, cities, right? Trees and forests, huge lands, just like you have a whole nother world under the water. So let's get that real quick. Matter of fact, um, let me read this first. Even so, the times of the Most High have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, man, meaning judgments and then signs like Jurassic World. All right. So what's that? I was about to get something. Oh, here you go. Let's go here. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6. I think. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 49. All right, I don't know if I can pull it up on here. Maybe. Let's see. This is Second Ezra 6 and 49. It says, "Then you singled out two living creatures. All right. You named one of them Enoch, or right here would say Behemoth. All right. Now it's not talking about humans. Um, you might as well say mammals. All right. But this is talking about land animals, giant land animals. Think about it. And dinosaurs too at that time. And the earth is only, they say millions and all that in science. Um was there hypothesis carbon dating is not 100%. All right. Hypothesis is a scientific guess, but the scriptures are accurate. It tell you Adam um was around 5554 BC, all right, during the times of Adam. So a little bit before that, you had the 7,000 years where the Lord created, um, the thousands of years where He created the sun, moon, and the stars, and the firmament, and the flowers of the field, the dry land, and the oceans, and then He created Leviathan and the behemoth, the land animals and such, and the ocean animals, and then He created us. All right. You named one of them Behemoth, all right, and the other Leviathan. Now, this is not talking about just the Godzilla Leviathan. This is talking about whales, reptiles, basically. All right, even though some whales are mammals, but giant sea-dwelling creatures. That's what this means right here. All right, because you'll see, this is not talking about Godzilla, Leviathan that we know about. You separated them from each other because the sea wasn't big enough to hold them both. All right. Damn, that's some Aquaman shit right there. The sea that's talking about that vast oceans, especially the Mediterranean. You let you let the behemoth or Enoch, the behemoth, live on a part of the land that you dried up on the third day of creation. It is a land of 1,000 hills, man. So if you look at the land, it'd be thousands of mountains, vast hills and valleys, and he gave that to those dinosaurs and land dwelling animals at that time. All right, to what? To cultivate the earth, uh, the circle of life. To populate and depopulate the earth, clean the earth. You let Leviathan, and also to be for our use, literally the elect. Well, the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites. He made all of this for us. You let Leviathan live in the sea, all right? The sea animals. You kept them both alive on earth and in the ocean, the Most High controlling both realms, so that your chosen people may feast on them at the time you choose. All right, see the chosen people. Those. So what is it talking about? It's talking about Leviathan. We're gonna be eating Leviathan. No, it's talking about animal like giant fish that's out there in the ocean. So it's not talking about Leviathan because the scripture tell you, can you bind Leviathan? Can you bind him up? Will he run from you? Nope. So this scripture is talking about the vast ocean to where the Lord created land animals, dinosaurs too, and sea animals, which also include dinosaurs. All right, but this is talking about the sea animals that's going to be eaten. On the sixth day, you commanded the earth to produce the animals, domestic and wild, large and small. More important, more important than all of these, you created Adam. All right, that was around 5,554 BC, and put him in charge of everything that you made. And all of us, the people you have chosen, are descended from him. All right, you know the scripture where it says, well, 54, it says, "Of him come we all." It's talking about the chosen people, all right? Not the whole world. Yeah, the whole world does come from Adam through Noah with Ham, Shem, and Japhet when we repopulated the earth. But this scripture in 54 is specifically talking about the Lord's chosen people coming from Adam. Of him come we all right? Talking about his chosen people. So he created what? All these things for who? His chosen people. Oh Lord, I have told you all of this because you said that you created this first world for the sake of your people. All right. So he created it all for us. And yeah, the Lord gonna get Esau out the way, and then we'll be able to enjoy it. And we have the right to enjoy it, without shame. So yeah, man. So when it speaks about land animals and ocean animals, Howard created that too. And it's vast. So where you think you got them figured out, over here in North America, all they teach you about is a certain list of dinosaurs. They tell you it's millions of all these lies, but it's so much more to explore, even of the Amazon, even of the desert, even of the ocean, especially out there in space. All right.
We've known about T-Rex, Triceratops, the duckbills for a century here in North America because we have excellent beds and because people have been going there for more than a century.
Right. I just said that.
We went to the center of the Sahara and found Africa's lost world. It is the last continent you're going to be able to describe immense creatures by the dozen to give us some idea of what was inhabiting that world.
Wow, we
He
cannot.
said immense creatures by the dozens. See that creatures newly formed, right? Or not. So let's go to right. Psalms 104 again, 24. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches, right? The earth didn't start with no big bang and chaos. Just whatever happens, you know, randomness. No, the most high created everything precisely in wisdom. That's why George Washington Carver, he said this basically spirit was dealing with George Washington Carver. Uh, the moment the Lord gave him the inclination or inspiration to deal with the peanut, and he said, "Yo, mind you, that was during the time when Esau was thriving. You have manufacturers, Ford, General Ford, and all these different things, car companies, and et cetera, farming issues. They were having crop issues here in America. And George Washington Carver, Jake, the Lord was dealing with him. He knew he was an Israelite, and he walked into this forestation or swamp area, whatever he said one day, and he said it was something different about it. All right, and the reason being, he said when he was there, he asked the Lord to show him something that can compete against Esau, basically, and that would be good for everything. And the Lord told him that I'm gonna give you something, the smallest thing ever, and it was a peanut. Now imagine if he wasn't humble enough to deal with that. But the Lord inspired him, and now peanuts are in everything. All right. And no, he didn't create peanut butter. It ain't got nothing to do with that. So now the reason I'm telling you the story is because he said when he got to that forestation area, it was so clean and made up and well put together. It looked like somebody just made it that way because they knew they were having guests. Think about it. When the Lord created the heavens and the earth, and then He created man upon earth on the sixth day. All right, or began to give orders and such to the Adamites. So so the Lord created this earth for us to inhabit. He's the creator. And how manifold are thy works in wisdom. So now you heard what he said. Let's hear it back.
Wait and see the discovery.
You're going to be able to describe immense creatures by the dozen to give us some idea of what was inhabiting that world.
Wow.
Damn. Immense creatures by the dozen. All right. So again, that's over here near the Mediterranean. Let me get this scripture. Now let's finish this off and read this John 41. All right. Let me get a backdrop picture real quick. Not John 4, Job 41. One second. Now, to me, no matter what I think, but to me, according to the scriptures, I would just me personally, I would believe that Leviathan looks like a giant iguana, all right, that moves on his belly instead of like a T-Rex, or like Godzilla, they have it standing up all the time. Damn, I'm horrible at finding some pictures of that. Sheesh. Every picture I get is like something corny. We find one more. Oh, this is a good one. All right, we're gonna read this. That's not the best either. Anyway, these are like some AI created pictures. Chat GBT. Let's go into Job 41 and let's read. It says, "Can you catch Leviathan?" See, the other ones that we read about in the Apocrypha, second Ezra chapter 6, it said that Leviathan was made for us to eat and catch in the ocean. Ocean animals where man fishes at, but it's even more out there for us to enjoy in the kingdom, right? So, but this Leviathan is something else. It says, "Can you catch Leviathan with a fish hook?" All the Esau movies, they always have him catching the monster. It says, or tie his tongue down with a rope. You know, in all the movies, they always catch King Kong or Godzilla. They always catch him. But the Lord, like, nah, you ain't gonna be able to do it. Can you put a rope through his snout, right? Like you do with a cattle, try to control him, or put a hook through his jaws, right? Are they gonna be able to do this right here? They would think that they can do. All the movies, they got the T-Rex in the damn truck, right? That way, it's so far beyond all that they look for, man. Steven Spielberg cannot imagine what's coming. Where was I at? All right, here we go. And it says, uh, will he beg you to let him go? Like they caught us, you know. Will he plead with you for mercy like a dog? No. Will he make an agreement with you? Ain't gonna be your damn pet. Will he plead with you for mercy? Will he make an agreement with you and promise to serve you forever? Will you tie him like a pet bird? See, you ain't gonna be able to make this your pet. It's gonna be off the chain, literally. Once the Lord let this thing loose. I'm gonna put that one in the background. There you go. All right. Only reason I don't like this one because the way Leviathan is described in the scriptures, it's a latitude horizontal animal, right? Dragging its belly on the surface of the ocean. So it's all the way at the bottom, and it says, "I'm gonna show you." Read this real quick. Finish reading. It says, "Will you tie him like a bird, a pet bird? You know, you do a little pet bird, you tie his little foot up, like something to amuse your servant women." Damn, that's what they did with Didn't they do that in the movie? Man, damn. Remember this? King Kong. They had King Kong tied up. And then he snapped. This one thing. Remember this? Where they had the King Kong in the background tied up and then he went crazy and broke free and shit. And for your women. All right. Like something to amuse your servant women? Nope. Um, will fishermen bargain over him? Will merchants cut him up to sell? You know, like they do with the like this right here. All right. I think a better yeah, here you go. They ain't gonna be able to do this. You know, like they do with the whales and tuna. You know, you're gonna be able to catch them? Nope. Will fishermen bargain over him? Will merchants cut him up to sell? Can you fill his hide with fishing spears, or pierce his head with a harpoon? All right, because of what? The scales are going to be so tight. Damn, you got scales on it. Anyway, the scales on it, it's not a fish, but the scales on it are going to be so tight that nothing could pierce it. All right. Damn, I'm saying think about eating Leviathan. They had some shit. Greedy eggs. Goodness. Um, but yeah, it's not a fish though. Will fishermen bargain over him? Will merchants cut him up to sell? Can you fill his hide with fishing spears or pierce his head with a harpoon? With your missiles? Touch him once and you'll never try it again. Yo. Yeah, touch him once, you ain't gonna never try it again. It said right here. Touch him once, and you will never try it again. You'll never forget the fight. It'll be written in history. All right. Anyone who sees Leviathan loses courage and falls to the ground. That's it. They're gonna faint. They're gonna put their weapons down. When he is aroused, whoa, so he's not aroused right now. You see that? All right. Damn. Let's see. Basically undisturbed. So the opposite of aroused would be undisturbed, dormant. Damn. So he's dormant right now. He's not aroused. It's still dormant, right? When he is aroused, he is fierce. No one can dare to stand before him. So this joint's sleeping. What? Who can attack him and still be safe? So it's probably on the earth hibernating and shit, like a bear does for the long through the winter. Thousands of years, nothing to a dinosaur or to the Lord, if he wanted to be so. No one in all the world. Oh wait, who can attack him and still be safe? No one in all the world can do it. Wow. Let me tell you about Leviathan's legs and describe how great and strong he is. No one can tear off his outer coat or pierce the armor. He wears the armor he wears, right? Um, right, the hide on it or the scales of it. The like the guy said, it was keratin, right? It's fleshy. Who can make him open his jaws, ringed with those terrifying teeth? We saw them show. He showed the hand-sized tooth of this recent dinosaur they just found, right? And right, he showed the tooth right there, and that's nothing. Leviathan tooth probably look like this. Yeah, this is nothing. This is a little fish catcher, right? And they said the T Rex teeth look kind of hooked a little bit, curved, but Leviathan, I'm sure, is way more intimidating. Who can make him open his jaws, ringed with those terrifying teeth? So like a damn, like what do you call that? A shark, right? Just like a shark. Those teeth, rows of teeth. All right. Yeah, you ain't gonna be touching it like that. So you just walk up to it and touch it, catch it, touching the teeth. You know, his back is made of rows of shields, man, like a Spinosaurus. So it got rows of shields. So it got rows of spines on it, probably all over it. Rows of them, like a gator. All right, fastened together and hard as stone. Right, like the back of a giant gator. Damn. All right, let me find this picture again so I can try and get this Godzilla picture. All right, his back is made of rows of shields fastened together and hard as stone. Each one is joined so tight to the next, not even a breath can come between them. Whew. So it breathes out. It doesn't breathe out through its skin, through its pores. So that means it's very toxic, and they had to get that toxicity out some kind of way. I'm sure it's going to shoot out that hot ass lava. All right. So animals that don't have pores, they usually really toxic animals. Um, e- each one is joined so tight to the next, not even a breath can come between. Damn. They all are fastened so firmly together that nothing can ever pull them apart. Damn, never pull them apart. Light flashes when he sneezes. So it's telling you it has a chemical combustion system inside of his head that mixes together when when the shit sneezes. His eyes glow like the rising sun. That's some scary shit. That's some scary shit. All right, hold on. It says eyes glow like the rising sun, like the sunrise. That's like red. Yo, that's some scary shit, man. Like imagine that. Imagine this. Imagine two suns rising over the horizon in the morning. You think it's the sun, but it's a damn dinosaur looking right at you. Yo, that's some scary shit there, man. Sheesh. And it's about to, oh my goodness, it's about to happen. All right, at some point. His eyes glow like the rising sun. You see it in the ocean, the joint just standing up, getting taller and taller, looking right at you. Flames blaze from his mouth, and streams of sparks fly out. Streams of sparks. Damn, so that's a chemical reaction there to shoot out sparks, but streams of it. Deep smokes. The smoke comes pouring out of his nose like smoke from weeds burning under a pot. Mm, damn. His breath starts fires burning just from the heat of the breath of it. It can start a fire. So it says flames leap out of his mouth. So it's like gas almost. You know, you ever see gas shooting out of something, but little flames be shooting out too, or out of an exhaust. Whew. His his neck is so powerful that all who meet him are terrified. All right, because the neck is like a lion or like Mike Tyson. The reason a lot of people are scared of Mike Tyson because how big his damn neck is. Or you see a lion, you know. So this thing is huge, man. Um, all who meet him are terrified. There is not a weak spot in his skin, so he ain't gonna find no weak. Shoot him in the tail. Go to the underbelly, the soft spot. Nope, ain't gonna find nothing. All right. It is as hard and unyielding as iron. The whole body of this animal is gonna be like iron. His stony heart is without fear. Shit, like a chihuahua. You know, them Jones don't fear shit. Damn, you imagine that Godzilla, but he got an attitude of a chihuahua. Just go crazy. Don't fear nothing. His stony heart is without fear. I'm joking, but more like a tiger or a lion. Just feel like it's the dominant. Uh, they call it the in Africa when they see the lion before they knew the name of it, they just call it the eater because when they see it, it looks like it want to eat you. It don't look like no elephant that's just mad at you or minding his business, grazing. This damn shit hunting you, looking at you like I'm the boss. Right? That's why Adam, when they saw it, they called it aria, which means to tear. Right? Ripping shit in pieces. They're like, what the hell, animal? That's aria. His stony heart is without fear, as unyielding and hard as a millstone. So this joint is not gonna run. You can't get no loud bangs, no nothing. This shit ain't gonna run for nothing. When he rises up, even the strongest are frightened. So any country, any animal is gonna be frightened of this thing. They are helpless with fear. Helpless. There is no sword that can wound him. No missiles that can wound it. Nothing that can puncture it. No spear or arrow or lance that can harm him. Right? It's probably the most dominant animal on the earth that hasn't been experienced yet. The dinosaurs probably seen it. That's why the Lord telling this story. Like anything that have seen it was scared. So what you think humans gonna be like? So it's dormant. So that means it was awake at some point and it's about to wake up again. Or not sleep, but just dormant. For him, right, just like we're dormant, but we're not asleep anymore. If you get that point. For him, iron is as flimsy as straw. So what do you think? Tanks, planes, anything. Iron is like straw to this damn animal. So ain't no tanks gonna be coming against it. No missiles, nothing. All right. So here you go. Let's go to this one. I like this one too. Where was I at? For him, iron is as flimsy as straw, and bronze as soft as rotten wood. There is no arrow that can make him run. No missiles that you can create. Nuke anything ain't gonna make this damn thing run. Rocks thrown at him are like bits of straw, little pieces of straw. You throw, you try to throw missiles at it or bombs at it, it's gonna be like cutting the straw in pieces and throwing them all at the damn at an alligator. Tiny little plastic pieces of straw. To him, a club is a piece of straw, and he laughs when men throw spears. Damn. So this thing gets excited like a cat playing with his food. The scales of his belly are like jagged pieces of pottery. Wow. They tear up the muddy ground like a threshing sledge. All right. So what's a threshing sledge? Look, let's get a good image of it. Wow, ain't that something? Look, this is a threshing sledge. So it's showing you example. Wow, okay. I don't know which one to click on yet. This is a threshing sledge. I'll put this up here. So this how his belly looks. Oh my goodness, why they got this picture? There you go. This is look. It's a sledge. I'm gonna show you more detail. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Get rid of that one. And then we put this up. This is a threshing sledge. All right. See right here, and they get pulled by cattle. So that lets you know it tears up the ground when it moves. See, all animals have a purpose, man. Imagine that if it's on the ocean and it's moving around, right? Scraping the bottom of the seabed. That's like that's like a sledge, but in the damn ocean at the bottom, bottom dweller, right? So this is a sledge. Let me go to another one real quick. All right, this one cool. Here you go. So it says jagged like a sledge. So the bottom of the belly of this animal moves like a alligator. That's why I said like a this right here. What they call them things? Iguana. Iguanas they feed on algae, so they can stay at the bottom forever, just eating the algae. Right. To me, I think it probably looks like this with rows of different scales on the back of it, but giant. And chemical reaction in it and all this, etc. stuff. But I could be wrong. But it's definitely a belly dwelling animal. Right. She said got spikes all over his stomach. Hello. And he laughs when men. Oh, where was that? Here we go. The scales of his belly are like jagged pieces of pottery. They tear up the muddy ground. See at the bottom of the ocean, like a threshing sledge. He churns up the sea like boiling water. Like you've been hearing about that, bubble thing, noise coming from the bottom, but it churns up the bottom of the ocean that you think is boiling. It's down there, um, probably shooting out lava, right? And makes it bubble like a pot of oil. Damn. So there you go. I mean, they could fight under the water or it can fight on the land. As he got ships in the water. He leaves a shining path behind him and turns the sea to white foam. There is nothing on earth to compare him with. He is a creature that has no fear. He looks down on even the proudest animals. All right, so see, we saw it. That's why I said when those dinosaurs was on the earth thousands of years ago, not millions. Um, those animals saw this damn thing. They saw Leviathan, and the Most High witnessed His own creation and made Leviathan dominate all of them. All right, that it came encounter with. So he is a creature that has no fear. He looks down on even the proudest animals. He is a king of all wild beasts. So imagine that the top animal on this earth, the Lord about to reveal it soon. The top people on this earth, the Lord about to reveal it soon. Reveal them soon. The top spirit, the top person ever created, Yahweh Shai is about to be revealed. Revelations. So yeah, this is the age of discovery. But Esau, what they're about to discover is your ass in a world of trouble. All right, so that's what they're about to discover. So yeah, they found newly discovered dinosaurs in the Saharan desert. All right, the age of discovery. Hope this is edifying, man. See you on the next one. Shalom.